Welcome back to our Credible VA series. Today's episode is very special because we have a very, very special guest. The previous episodes have been virtual assistant from our current hiring pool. And today's episode is especially sweet and special because it is with my virtual assistant of 8 years, Stephanie, who I'd call Steph. Can you say hi?
Hi.
Well, I think the funniest way to start this interview would be to let everyone know that I thought you'd been my virtual assistant for 6 years and you corrected me and said it was 8. And it shows how much I've needed you. So anyway, we're going to just kind of go back to the beginning and talk about how we met, go from there. Honestly, 8 years ago was so long ago. I'm so interested to hear about your perception of it versus mine, because I obviously have a skewed one, because I'm thinking once you said it'd been 8 years, I'm like, oh yeah, duh. It's been 8 years, because I remember it was like, I remember the time now. I hadn't had my son yet. And at the time I was running the business with just Renee, who was our bookkeeper. So it was just the three of us. And I remember being extremely overwhelmed. I was still learning the business. I didn't know much about it because it's a family business. And I basically came on after a staffing change didn't work out and had no idea what I was doing. And it was Todd, my dad's suggestion, that we hire a virtual assistant. And I was like, there's nobody out there that's going to be able to help me. Like, this is so hard. And anyway, do you remember our first interview?
Yeah, you were very perky and nice.
Oh. I was going to say, how do you remember it? Do you just remember me being perky and nice?
Perky and nice. Because that time I was very nervous. I had no idea. There was no training whatsoever when I started the job. So it's something you really have to learn.
Yeah, you were one of the OGs. Like, this was a very new. I don't even think we had started virtual assistant placement yet. So like, you got thrown. I got thrown to the fire, and then you got thrown to the fire to help me.
Yeah, I was pretty much the guinea pig. They told me outright, like, if this was a success, then they're going to do another department.
Yes, and thank God they chose you because it was very successful. I remember the day that you were supposed to start. I think I might have pushed back your date to start a few times. I could be wrong. Or maybe I didn't. I wanted to because I was so overwhelmed and had no idea how I was going to train you and take care of everything that I was trying to take care of there. Because just imagine every time you open an email, you don't know how to handle it. Every task that you have, you might have, like, I think I just learned how to do. So like when I thought of training someone, I'm like, I can't train anyone to do all this stuff that I don't know how to do. And I knew how to do some of it, but like, I was very, very new to it. So I remember meeting you and saying, hey, I don't know how I'm going to train you. I'm going to share my screen and you can just work with me all day. Right? Isn't that how it
went? Yeah. You showed me your inbox and then I tried to, technically, I'm kind of like your assistant at that time. I wanted to know how you work. What's your personality like? So I was trying to listen and see like, oh, okay, so this is how she does her email. And you were so nice and open because I told you, oh, how about I do this to your inbox because this is how you usually answer. You tend to mark things for later. So to make it much more easier for you to see, I put everything that's already unread and at the very top. And then at the bottom, all your read emails. So this way you don't have to go to different pages every time.
Oh my gosh, are you the one who did that?
Because I thought it will be much more easier for you. I guess you could say I already predicted it's going to be a good relationship because you're very open to suggestions.
Oh yes, I needed them desperately. And that's why I loved you so much is you were like, okay, well this is where it looks like you might need help. Can I help you here? And I'm like, please, please help me. Were you nervous?
Very, because like I said, I'm very comfortable with my previous role, something that I've been doing for so long. And my team leader at that time even told me, you could practically do your job with your eyes closed. That's how easy it is.
Wow.
Yeah, so when they offered this job, I was flattered because I was the first one they offered it to. And I told her, well, that was amazing, but I don't know how am I going to function because I have no idea what this work entails. And then they said if I were to reject this offer, it's going to be offered to another agent next to me. And I was like, okay, you know what? Let me try it first. Then if I fail, just return the job to me.
Yeah, well, that's nice. Yeah, I'm so glad you said yes. Because I don't know what I would have done without you. What were you most afraid of?
This sounds easy, but I am afraid to fail.
No, it's just the human experience. I think That's everyone's biggest fear, honestly. But
Well,
yeah, I
yeah.
mean, and I'm sure, I mean, I would be afraid if I were you. You went from a job where you worked with so many people, right? To going to just working with one person. And
Yeah.
what if you don't like that person? Like,
Oh,
it's just a lot of pressure. Like, what if you had shown up and I was like, rude to you or something? That
oh
would
gosh, I
scare
didn't
me.
even thought of that. But you were so nice
Well,
and perky in our interview now. I didn't even think of that.
you worked for Verizon beforehand, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
technical support.
Yeah, so Stephanie comes and she doesn't ask me what to do. She tells me what I need help with and then starts doing it, which was just like I immediately was like, "Oh, this is actually going to be very helpful. Like this is not going to be something where I have another person to be responsible for. It's like somebody that's going to come in and just take some of the stuff off my plate." But at the time I couldn't see the forest trees at all. I couldn't see. I just was there was so much that had to be done and I couldn't even figure out what the next step was going to be. And I remember showing you like our monthly processes and 3-day notices, lease renewals, which now you probably know how to do. I don't remember. I think you've been doing them ever since. And I remember you just taking, like, I think before I even could offer to take and ask you to take things off my plate, I think you just started offering to take things off my plate. Is that how you remember it?
Yeah, because I remember you were so nice not to overload me with so many stuff during the first few weeks of it because I still manage your inbox most of the time, and then you will just assign me some tasks that I needed to do. It took me a while to get used to it because I still use the document with the step by step.
Well, in your defense, it's monthly cycle, the business that we're in. So you only do it once a month. So it takes several months for it to click. It's one thing, if you're doing it every day, you're going to remember it. If you don't look at it until the next month, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. How has your role changed over the years?
Apparently, I got promoted to assistant property manager without me knowing. I only found out through Todd. I don't even remember when did he told me that. He just told me, "Oh, you're an assistant property manager now." I was like, "Oh yeah."
Oh my gosh. I'm so glad you were so cool to roll with the punches because there's probably so many things that like you just were like, "Oh, I guess this is how this is going now," because that's how it feels for me anyway. Like that's how the business has been kind of run. I feel like it's important to share because I think a lot of people think in order to hire a virtual assistant, they need to have everything like ready to go, everything super organized, all their processes lined up, which would be nice. But a good virtual assistant, I feel like, just jumps in, rolls up their sleeves, and says, "What can I do to help?" and then rolls with the punches. And that's exactly what you did. So,
Basically, my role is I just want to make your life easier when it comes to you.
Well, you do an amazing job at that. I think that your role has changed a lot over the years because at first you just did admin tasks, right? Then eventually you answered the phone. And tell me if I'm wrong, wasn't it only for tenants at first?
Oh no, it's for mainline. So
mainline, but owners are usually escalated to me pretty quickly, like for most things. And then tenants you were able to, and then it turned into like pretty much nothing you can't handle. Like you had seen me and Tim handle so many things. You've been exposed to so many things. But then it got to the point where it was only if only if it needed to be escalated, like, but most things you've been able to handle. Then it got to the point where one day somebody walked in and they were upset about something, a customer, and they demanded to speak to my boss, Stephanie. And I was like, she's not in. I don't even think I corrected them. I don't even think I told them that you weren't my boss. She's not in right now. You're going to have to speak with me. But that's how good a job you've done. So I think your role has really progressed over the last 8 years.
I guess they never checked my email signature. They would have known what's my role there.
Yeah. No, they just got your boss energy. What's the biggest challenge you've faced over the last 8 years? And you be as brutally honest. Shoot me straight.
Honestly, until now, my challenge is handling people's emotion, especially the negative one. Until now, I'm still deathly afraid of telling people bad news. I know you probably are aware of this. Maybe it's just the people pleasing side of me. I just wanted to fix and make people happy whenever I talk to them. Well, of course, realistic. It doesn't work that way. But you're kind of at this point where you just have to learn how to just tell it to them in a, I guess, neutral way. There are some things that you really can't control.
Yeah, like sometimes you have to be the bearer of bad news, and actually a lot in property management. I think a lot of times you have to be. And when you're the bearer of bad news, I think over time you learn that they're not mad at you, they're mad at the situation, even if they take it out on you.
Yeah,
and you just try to deliver it as empathetically and kindly as possible, while also in this business in particular, you have to be very firm and kind at the same time. So, and I know, like, coming from customer service, that's something that you kind of had to do beforehand too. What do you think the biggest difference is between that role and this role? Is there more conflict in this role or that role?
It's different. The previous role is very straightforward. You just wanted to view the property and I just give them the instructions. Pretty much, you just need to read everything. But this one, it's more difficult because, well, I won't say difficult, different. Because every call or every situation could be something that you require you to investigate further, or you could simply just tell them the answers outright.
Right.
Their difficulty really depends on the process itself. I mean, it's still doable, but there are some cases that you would require some assistance.
Yeah, well, if you're talking about when you were answering leasing calls to now, I feel like it has to be more difficult dealing with more intricate tenant and owner issues because they're usually, I mean, we're talking about people's living situations, so people get very emotional when it comes to that a lot of times. So I would imagine you're dealing with a higher level of emotion from the people. So I mean, I've seen you grow so much, and you just have taken everything that's been thrown at you with so much grace. And I want to ask you a question. Do you remember when I had Owen? I remember that Tim started in February. I had Owen in July, at the end of July. So I was spending that time training him. And then I've never come back the same way pretty much since I had him. And I remember just being so grateful for you because you were the aid to Tim that made it possible for me to take a step back once having my son. Do you feel like on your end, did it feel like your job changed a lot then? Like your responsibility grew a lot?
I can't exactly recall if it grew a lot, but all I know is that I just miss you because you're no longer the person I'm directly reporting to. But yeah, working with him is also a blast. It's like it's also a different dynamic with him, and I also learned a lot from him. There are things that I, even until then, I'm not familiar with because I don't live there. Yeah, like there's a part of a house in Florida that we don't have that I will just eventually learn on the job. Like, oh, so this is how it works.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. I remember having the most hysterical conversation. I think it was with you. You were like, someone is so upset because their garbage disposal is not working. And I had just told you, I think, what a garbage disposal was. And you were like, just use the trash. Like,
oh, God.
I'm sure for you guys, you're like, oh, brother. Like, how has working remotely long-term improved your life?
I have to say, I did not get sick often because I got sick a lot when I was still working in the office. Yeah, but maybe because just my stamina. So when I started working from home, it's really easier. I started working from home because I wanted to study. Unfortunately, my stamina did not make it anymore, so I had to stop. So eventually, I just settled with my job.
So working from home, you're able to do more without burning out?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I feel like even here, I know in Manila, you're in Manila still, right? Yeah, I know in Manila the commute is worse than here, but even here, like working from home versus working in an office, not having to necessarily get ready for work, not having to plan around a commute, not having to be socially on all day, if that makes sense. Like when you're with coworkers, you're just like, some days, even though you do have to be on the phone, you do have to talk to coworkers, you can just like, at least for me, it's nice that some days like you can kind of be under the radar, just put your head down, get your work done. And when you're in an office, it's like, hi, you're just always, I know that's nice. I'm glad that it's improved your life because I think I remember when Tim started, we just would look at each other and be like, how do we make sure Steph's happy? So what do you love most about your job now?
Oh, it has to be my coworkers. It's just really enjoyable working with the people.
Yeah.
Especially if it's something that you can rely on, someone that is very easy to hang out with. It's just really nice. The only problem that I wanted to face when it comes to work is dealing with the tenants or homeowners or renters. I don't like having problems within the team.
Yeah.
It's going to add more stress. And I don't have that issue with HPM. So that's why I said I enjoy working with my coworkers more.
Yeah, I feel like at HPM, everyone's really, work is work. So I'm sure everyone's got like gripes, but I feel like there's a lot of mutual respect and gratitude for everybody amongst the group, and everyone takes care of everybody. And that's very nice. No one's questioning if you're putting your best foot forward. And if you need something, I feel like we want to give it to you because you always put your best foot forward, and vice versa. So I love that about HPM, and I'm glad you feel that too. What motivates you to keep showing up consistently after 8 years?
A good salary.
Amen. You're like, all right, at the end of the day, there's a lot of other things I'd rather be doing. Keep the money coming.
You're being compensated well.
No, we love that. And that's something that, like, I mean, yeah, that's why people go to work. At the end of the day, that's the reason. So I'm glad, I'm very glad you're happy. What would you say to a business owner who's nervous about hiring a VA long term?
I would say take some time to list down what are the things that you need a VA for. And then once you are in the interview process, finding some insight with the VA may help you figure out if that person is the right fit.
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback on that. The other thing is, I think what you taught me, and I lucked out on the first time because you're the first VA hire, but is that if you click with the person and you feel like there's like an ease in communicating, it will make the process so much easier. Like all of the ups and downs and the training and all of that is going to be so much more seamless with somebody that you have a natural flow with. And I've had that, I feel like, with you from the beginning. Even though there's cultural differences and we've had to explain things to each other, it's just such an easy flow to talk to you. And I think it's receptive on both sides. And I'm grateful for that. That's not the case. Like, there's so many different types of humans in the world. That's not the case with everybody. So I think looking for that too is another really important factor.
I agree.
Yeah.
Also having patience. People won't just get the job easily at the first time. You need to have some patience. They need some room for improvement on some stuff. Giving them constant feedback.
This is the 4th episode, and it's funny. I think every single person has mentioned how much they value feedback. And I think that might come from it. I could be wrong, but tell me if I'm wrong. It sounds like in the Philippines, when you have a Philippine-based job, you don't get a lot of feedback. It's like, you're bad at this, goodbye. Or like, you get a lot of punitive. That's what I keep hearing is like, with US companies, there's like a feedback, like giving the benefit of the doubt, like saying, oh, maybe we didn't communicate this right, or is there anything we can do to support you so that you can do this? Whereas that's not what I've heard over the last 3 interviews. Is that something that you've seen? Because you worked for a Philippine company too, correct?
In my personal experience, we have a lot of coaching, constant coaching. So that's also probably why I was so surprised when I first started working with you that you don't coach me.
Oh my gosh, it's the opposite.
Maybe because the coaching style that I'm so used to, like, hey, so this is something that you need to improve on, stuff like that. And you just keep constantly praising me, and it made me start questioning if there's like something that I failed to do. It just, it was just dreadful.
So, I mean, without getting into my like background too much, I had no experience. The only reason that I had the job that I had was because it's the family business. I was offered the job because it was basically a sink or swim moment where it was like, we tried to restructure, didn't work. We're either going to sell or you're going to take over. And my dad was like, I believe in you. And he was like, also, you can call me, but I won't really be there. No, he'll answer the phone. Like, he answered the phone and he helped me like a lot in that regard. But like, it wasn't like he was coming in and working beside me. And so like when you came along, we were like on the same level. It's not like I could give you a lot of feedback. I didn't freaking know what I was doing. Like eventually, like I think I was able to give you some good feedback about our culture and how things go over well, and also about being firm with people. You can be kind and firm, because I feel like it's easy for people to get so heated in the business we're in, because it is something that people want to have control over, which is their living situation. So when they start to feel out of control, I understand and empathize that people are you're not going to see the prettiest side of them. They're going to feel attacked. It's their living situation. So I think that like eventually I was able to coach you on being kind but firm, being empathetic but firm, because you were so kind that I think the people were like, oh, she'll listen to me forever. Like, she'll listen to me say the same thing over and over again forever. and take my abuse. And like, so there was things that I feel like eventually I was able to coach you on, but in the beginning, we were just like, you have no idea. We were on the same page. I had no feedback to give you because you probably had more experience than I had. That's so funny though. What's something really funny that's happened over the years? Can you think of a funny story?
So I remember this particular tenant. When he moved out, we're all good. So I think this was like the first couple of times that we interacted over the phone. He has problems with his microwave, and I completely understand. So I'm telling him like what I'm seeing in our maintenance portal and all. And then he suddenly asked me a question. What would you do if you don't have a microwave? So I didn't grow up in a household with a microwave. We pretty much heat everything with a pan. So when he asked me that question, I answered honestly, oh, you can just heat it with a pan. And then he got mad.
Did he get mad? Oh, I bet. Because, I bet. Oh my gosh. There are probably endless funny stories because of the difference in the way that we live in the United States versus how you live. But the point is, the standard of living there is different. And here, like a microwave is normal, a garbage disposal is normal. We have cooler weather than you guys, and we freak out if we don't have AC, whereas many places in the Philippines don't have AC. So I can imagine the endless amount of times you've probably been like rolling your eyes or just like facepalm with people just absolutely berating you over a microwave or a fridge or like a garbage disposal or and he was asking you sarcastically like, how would you do without your microwave? You're like, I don't even know what it's like to have one. So you're just answering honestly.
I don't really think of it like it's a negative thing. It's just really pure confusion on my part. It's something that I'm used to is completely different from other people. So I completely understand.
No, and that's the thing. In life, you adjust to whatever your circumstances are. That's just how humans are. Like, it's not like you probably don't feel like super underprivileged in the microwave department. You just don't understand what the point is.
Yeah, kind of like that. You're just very confused.
Yeah. That makes sense. That's, I'm sure. I can't even imagine. I always picture like you guys being like, "Oh, get a load of this, guys." Like, let me end by saying this. I know I've told you how much I love you so many times, but I really can't put into words the value you've added to my life, the freedom you've added to my life. I've been through a lot of highs and lows in the last 8 years, and you have truly been a rock through all of it in ways you probably have no idea. And I am so passionate about sharing about virtual assistants because of you. I just know that, I know that it's hard to imagine what a virtual assistant can do if you've never had one, and the way that you have supported me personally and in business throughout the last 8 years, I can never thank you enough for. And I just think you're a light in the world and that you'll be amazing at whatever you do. And so I just not to be cheesy, but very, very, very grateful for you.
I would want to also say that HPM really opened a lot of doors for me, because initially my plans after high school is just to eventually go to a fashion school. That's why I started working from home. But since that did not work out, I just focused all of my energy to work, and HPM gave me a deep opportunity to be part of your team, which I did not expect I'm actually good at. I'm getting praises for it, and it made me love my work more and finding ways to improve more on what I do. So yeah, I'm also equally thankful. I can't imagine what I could be doing if I wasn't given this opportunity.
Oh, well, I'm so glad that you didn't let your coworker take the first shot. I'm really glad.
Oh, you're gonna give it to her? Okay, let me try first.
Yeah, no, good for you though. That's awesome. Because it's scary. It's so scary. That was a big leap of faith. So I could totally see the hesitance there. But I'm just really, really glad at the end that you decided to do it, because what a journey it's been. God gave us you for sure, because you just can't, there's not a lot of Stephs in the world, okay? You were perfect for us, and we're very grateful for you.
Aww.
Thank you so much for agreeing to do this. Well, first off, back it up. Thank you for agreeing to meet me the first time 8 years ago. Thank you. And we will talk very soon.
Thank you too.
Bye, Steph.
Bye.